Huge thank you to Toyota of Naperville for letting me borrow the car in this video. Toyota of Naperville is one of the largest Toyota dealers in Illinois, ready to find the right car for you.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2022 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Up front is a 2.5 liter inline-4 as well as a hybrid system, and down below is an eCVT. Now I'm super excited to be driving this here RAV4 Hybrid for a couple of reasons. First of all, this is a direct competitor to the CR-V Hybrid that I filmed a little while ago, so we'll be doing some comparisons between that, as well as it's just fun to drive this car again. I haven't driven this body style of RAV4 in quite some time. I did it right as they came out, and then I haven't reviewed one again, so it's always fun to get back in the seat of an old friend and see what's changed over the years. But before we get on to anything else, I have a website, zackpradel.com, where you can buy stickers and other merchandise when it becomes available. You could also submit your own vehicle to be reviewed by me through a quick and easy submission form, and you would get a video of your car just like this one, and you could read my behind the scenes blog to see what I'm filming before it comes out on the channel. But let's get back to the drive system of this Toyota RAV4. Well, this is the hybrid, not to get mixed up with the RAV4 Prime. The RAV4 Prime is a plug-in hybrid that you can actually plug in at home and charge a battery. This is a hybrid system much like a Prius, where there are no plug-ins, you don't have to charge it at night or anything like that. It's actually the gasoline engine that charges the batteries. For all intents and purposes, this is a lifted SUV version of the Prius, and I really like that. But what you're gonna like is the fuel economy. In the city, it gets 41 miles to the gallon and 38 miles to the gallon on the highway because it can't utilize that electric system as much as it can in the city. Like I said, you don't have to plug it in, you just fill it up with gas and keep driving it like a normal car. And that has always been the biggest selling point to me of the RAV4 Hybrid. I did a previous generation RAV4 Hybrid. You'll find that at the end of this video as well. So if you want to see what the previous gen looked like. But this is like the perfect daily driver because you get that extra range, you get that extra fuel economy, and yet you don't really sacrifice anything besides dollars when you go to buy one. They are a little bit more expensive than a traditional RAV4 because of that hybrid technology. The eCVT, I don't mind. Hybrids have always felt a little strange when it comes to transmissions, and the eCVT is quiet, it works, it's in the background, and I don't have any complaints about it. I'm not a big fan of eCVTs or CVTs traditionally. However, it's just the way the world is going, so one of these days I'm gonna get off my high horse and stop complaining about them. Last but not least, this here RAV4 is all-wheel drive. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have some physical gauges as well as a screen. Off to the left, I have what would normally be a tachometer. This is actually my charge and power gauge, as well as my coolant temperature. And off to the right, I have my speedometer and fuel. And then in the center, I get a little customizable screen. This isn't that crazy. You find this same screen in every single Toyota product that they're currently offering, so pretty run-of-the-mill. However, you can switch it around, get some different information if you'd like, and I do think that that is pretty nice. On the steering wheel, on the left, I have my selectors for that center screen, as well as phone options, volume, and voice commands. And off to the right, I have my cruise control settings, lane keep assist, pre-collision warning, as well as skip track and my mode button. The overall steering wheel looks and feels nice, no complaints there. Off to the left, first of all, I do get a climate control vent and a little bit of blue stitching. Just a slight reminder that you are in a hybrid. Then down below, I get my gauge dimmer switch and my automatic high beams on and off. Pretty nice there. And a cubby in between those buttons and the stitching. Moving on to the door, I have my power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. And then moving into the center, we have the typical Toyota infotainment system. Not gonna harp on this too long because it's not that interesting. For 2022, they do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Toyota was very late to the game in adding this, but I'm just happy to see it here today. I do have Bluetooth as well. I did pair my phone and it doesn't sound amazing. These speakers aren't anything crazy, so It's not the best in the world, but I do have some hybrid screens I could look at if you're wondering what the car is doing while it's doing it. That is very, very nice, and you find the same screens on the Prius. And then here is the backup camera. Of course, every vehicle after 2018 is legally required to have one here in the United States, so this is the quality of the RAV4. Down below that screen, we do have 2 climate control vents and the hazard switch, and then I have the climate controls. I really, really like the climate controls because of these knobs. They feel very, very solid, have very tactile feedback, and they feel like they're built properly. And I love that, and it's hard to find that in vehicles like this, actual knobs and dials that feel heavy and nice and solid and quality. That's more so reserved for luxury cars and things like that. So it's really nice to see that in the RAV4. I do also have a button for my traction control off if I want to get rowdy with it. Then down below that, I do have a cubby with a wireless charger, USB and 12-volt outlet. All of your power options and needs will be met here. I've been wirelessly charging my phone all morning, and it has been working fantastically. Then we come to the shifter area. First, let's talk about what's off to the left. I do have my power parking brake as well as brake hold. Then I have some drive modes. So I do have eco mode, and I can put it into sport mode, push it down for normal mode, and then I have EV mode. It's kind of confusing and annoying that there's so many different buttons and switches and twists you have to do in order to get it into different drive modes. It's almost like you're playing a Bop It, but they are pretty self-explanatory, and EV mode will allow you to drive on just battery power. So if you're going through neighborhoods, slow speeds, you're going to be able to just use the battery power. However, it does have to be at a certain amount to allow you to do that. So just keep that in mind. Off to the right, we have the shifter, very traditional here. You'll find this not only in a lot of other Toyota products, but it just acts and feels like a normal car shifter. Very, very good. Then we do have cup holders. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the 2022 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. And unfortunately, it starts to go in. It really wants to accept the big friggin' bottle. But alas, at the end of the day, it does not. Then we do have a center console with 2 USB-Cs. Kind of interesting in there. Very, very modern to have USB-Cs. And then we gotta talk about the seats. The seats are finished in a cloth. It does get that blue stitching like we saw on the dashboard, which I like that a lot, but they're pretty nonchalant after that. They're fine. They're comfortable enough, but they're definitely nothing to write home about. However, we do have back seats, so let's go do a backseat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2022 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, and a couple of things to note back here. First of all, sitting normally, the seats are reclined a little bit, but headroom great, knee room great. It's very, very comfortable to sit back here. I also do get 2 USB chargers. Those are both USB-C as well. I do have power windows back here, things like that. I do get a center console. Let's see what it holds. 2 cup holders. That's about it, but nothing too crazy beyond that. The same cloth carries on back here of the front seats, which is fine. It works. It's definitely a more basic cloth you'll find from Toyota, but not the end of the world. Let's go hop around back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so we're on the back of the RAV4 Hybrid. Pop the trunk like that. It does not have a trunk popper on the key fob. And once I am back here, I do get 2 USBs. It looks like an aftermarket, but I don't think it is. Very interesting looking. I do get a cargo cover if I want to put that up there, and the back seats are able to fold down. I also do get this big trap door for the spare tire and jack and things like that. Tons of space in the back here of the RAV4, one of the key features of the RAV4, and I absolutely love it. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of space. Really, really nice. I would have liked to have seen a power tailgate, but not the end of the world on the SE trim level. Now we got to talk about the looks, and I really like this generation of RAV4. When it first came out, it was very polarizing. Thought it was very, very different from what they had been doing. However, I think now it just kind of looks like modern traffic again. And it's nothing crazy. I'm not a big fan of this black on black color scheme, but this was the only hybrid I could get my hands on, so that's what we're stuck with today. I think it does look good. It still looks fresh and modern enough, and it's a RAV4. You're not gonna really break the bank. You're not gonna wow the audience with a RAV4. It's just looks handsome enough to not be revolting when you walk out to your car in the morning. But now, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think finally driving a 2022 Toyota RAV4 hybrid? Well, I like this thing. I really don't see any downsides of the RAV4 compared to the regular non-hybrid gasoline, of course, besides the price. It's going to be a little bit pricier, a little bit harder to get your hands on, but I really think it's worth it. I also mentioned earlier that I wanted to compare this to the Honda CR-V hybrid. These two cars are direct competitors. Coca-Cola and Pepsi, Boeing and Airbus, Tom and Jerry, these classic rivalries are no match for the RAV4 CR-V Honda Toyota battle that's been waging for close to 50 years, these two competitors. Which is the better option? Which one would I take home? Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. They're both so similar. I mean, it's really going to come down to personal preference, brand loyalties, and where the closest dealer is to you. And that's not to say that they're dull or lame or bad vehicles. They're both fantastic options. It's just two different sides of the same coin. Mid-size, hybrid, Japanese SUVs. I like them both. I think they're both great. I don't see many downsides with either of them. It's just going to come down to if you want a Toyota or if you want a Honda. Maybe you have that Honda dealer in town that's just stellar and has always given people good deals and all your neighbors drive Hondas because of it. Well, then go get the CR-V hybrid. Maybe the same thing is true about a Toyota dealership. You go down to your local Toyota dealer and they have plenty of vehicles on the lot all the time, very friendly staff. Go buy the RAV4 hybrid. The best thing you can do is go out and drive both and just see which one you like, because honestly, I'm having a hard time really deciphering the differences. Huge thank you to Toyota of Naperville for letting me take out their RAV4 hybrid. Like I said, this is fantastic. They are absolutely awesome. We've been working together for almost 4 years now, which is insane to say. They've been fantastic every single time I've come in to film with them. Their staff is amazing. Their service is unbeatable, and I can't recommend them enough. If you're looking for a new Toyota, definitely head over to Toyota of Naperville. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.